And time for our Talk of the Town today here on AM 1390 KRFO. And Mary Overlee Olson, who still is able to come by once a year, even though she's no longer out there recycling. You have other things you're involved with. And of course, you're with the AAUW, Mary.
That's right. That stands for Owatonna American Association of University Women. And I just have to say, I'm so thrilled to be here. I love being on radio.
Well, that's good. We're glad to have you. It's good. Like I said, you're a good Norwegian. All we need is a cup of coffee for each other. So go on. Yeah, but you want to talk mainly, of course, coming up next week. For a number of years, you've hosted the Taste of Steele County, and I'll just kind of throw it out there
Yes,
like that.
we have. This year, our the Owatonna AAUW Taste of Steele County it will be next Thursday, September 15th. It's from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Owatonna Eagles Club. And $15 for adults. I think it's $10 for children. We do limit the number of tickets sold because of our vendors. We want our vendors to know basically how many samples they have to provide for. So get your tickets early at Kotke Jewelers or any AAUW member. We will have some available at the door most likely.
But what kind of day would you like to have it cut off if you could,
Well, ideally early next week, but honestly, we will take people on the day of the event. There always are a few people that want to buy tickets, and we've been able to accommodate people in the past. So the fact that, you decide late Thursday afternoon there's something you might want to attend, please don't hesitate. Just come and we'll fit you in.
And you always like folks coming for the first time ever, so you come in the door at 5 o'clock, they hand $15 to you, and then what's going to happen to them?
Well, first of all, I want to promote this as something if you like to eat and you like to socialize, you like to taste different foods, this is the event for you. Besides which, it's for a good cause because the money that we raise at this event goes to support scholarships for women and girls right here in Steele County. I want to first talk about our vendors because we could not do this event without the help of our Steele County vendors. And so I want to list them all. Let's see if I can do it by heart, although I got my little cheat sheet in front of me. From outside of Owatonna, we have the bakery in Blooming Prairie. I always love their rosettes, being of Norwegian heritage.
Yeah.
Ellendale, we have Steve's Meat Market, well known around the area, and they always bring samples of some of their smoked meats. Here in Owatonna, not too far away, we have El Tequila Restaurant. That's one of our sponsors. They always serve Mexican food, obviously. Spare Time Entertainment is a fairly new vendor, and they had wonderful samples last year. We're looking forward to it again this year, as did another newer vendor, Fairway Foods, had great number of samples last year, and we're so glad they are back. We have to give a shout out to Hy-Vee Groceries or Deli. They have been with us every year and provide something new and unique every year, showing their catering and deli foods. Tori's Restaurant and Bar is well known around here, and they've been a participant for many years. One of the favored booths is Mizuki Fusion. There are many people who have not tasted Japanese or Asian fusion foods, and this is your opportunity to try those, so that's great. Owatonna Eagles and Owatonna Elks always participate as well, and we're appreciative of that. You might finish off your evening with a flavored coffee from Central Park Coffee, or everyone's favorite dessert, Costas Candy. So we do thank all of those vendors. I like to think of it as a win-win situation, that our vendors get some publicity and get people to try some of their food, so they may be interested in patronizing those businesses. AAUW also has a silent auction in connection with this event, and American Association of University Women, many of us are avid readers, so oftentimes you'll find among the 30 or so silent auction items several books for children and or adults, and oftentimes we will include a gift certificate for one of our 12 vendors. So we like to support our vendors. We could not do this event without them. They provide the food, they prepare the food, they bring it to the Eagles, and they serve the food. We just get the money, the proceeds that go to our scholarships. if you don't mind, I'll talk about scholarships now.
Yeah, you've given away a numerous number of them, so talk
We
to me
have.
about it.
Just at our last AAUW meeting, we had 2 women speak about the scholarships they received this past summer. One was an 8th grader who went to a week-long summer camp in Michigan at Michigan State University. It's for pre-college introduction to microbiology. Quite an intensive workshop, I think, or camp. And we paid for a good share of that. The family came up with a little bit of extra money, but by far the majority of it came from AAUW. The other scholarship this summer that we've done several years in a row now is to a sophomore or junior at a area college or university. It is for a women's leadership conference in Washington, D.C., where there are women from all over the United States, and every woman that has attended that has just said it's been life-changing, very fun to hear the outcomes that they have had. We also have offered scholarships for a number of other women. We offered a Owatonna scholarship it'll be 2017, to a student who's a sophomore at the University of Wisconsin in Platteville in industrial engineering. Another similar scholarship to a senior at the University of Minnesota in Rochester who's in nursing. A $500 Hamel scholarship was given to a sophomore in graphic design at Minnesota State University in Mankato. And so each year we give out several scholarships. If you are interested in applying for a scholarship, or even better, interested in belonging to our AAUW organization. By the way, I want to let people know that this organization is open to any man or woman. I will say we don't have too many men, but it's open to men who have a 2-year or associate degree at any accredited college or university. So we do stress learning. I want to give our website to listeners in case they want to look up more information either on our scholarship or our organization. That website is owatonna-mn.aauw.net. We also have book study groups in our organization, and we have very interesting programs every year, relevant programs. This year, one of the fun programs I'm looking forward to is we'll meet at OHS and hear from the Owatonna High School robotics team and what they have been doing most recently. We've got our March meeting is always held at the Arts Center in conjunction with some other nonprofit groups, and we always have a woman author, oftentimes a Minnesota women author, usually. This year the topic is going to be the women of the Mayo Clinic. I have ties to the Mayo Clinic. I'm related to them by fairly distantly, so I'll be interested in that. I'm looking forward to, I believe it's our December meeting, discussion on implicit bias. All of us, we may not think we're biased, but sometimes some of the ways we think or act kind of show that even without us knowing it, we are biased, and just how to recognize that in ourselves and maybe try to calm that tendency in all of us to spread our biases for others. I know one of the things I'm working on hard in my retirement now is stop judging people, okay?
Yeah.
And that's for me. And stop criticizing others and just accept that every human is a child of God. So
Move on. What are their dues for each year?
I believe AAUW's dues this year are either $65 or $68 a year. Good share of that, 45 or so, does go to our national organization, but actually I support that part as well. National AAUW was founded in 1881, and the mission is to advance equity for women and girls through advocacy, education, philanthropy, and research. So they have supported scholarships, obviously, or grants to women throughout the century and a half. AAUW really has done a lot of research on various impacts on women, such as the fact that even though women directly out of college with a college degree going into a profession is paid less than a man with the same amount of education, again, going into that same business, even nowadays. So we do have a little ways to go in that. Also done a lot of research on sports and Title IX. Anyone who's lived in Owatonna for the past 20 or 30 years has seen the great increase, and I applaud the Owatonna School District for supporting women's sports the way they do. I grew up in an era where we couldn't play women's sports.
No,
That was not allowed.
Nope. Intramural, I guess, a little bit there was, but
yeah, right. But you couldn't play competitively, and I was never an athlete, but I remember lots of friends that would have done very well in an athletic program.
And you see the difference. I mean, because I think I went like a good 20 years between seeing a girls' basketball game. So when I actually saw maybe the last few years, I just kind of like, huh? Because I mean, when the first, they were
pretty rough.
The old set shots, and they'd walk slow, and like you can see what a transformation is when you actually get the opportunity to hone your skills, which you can become. So.
Yes, my husband and I are big. Well, we're University of Minnesota graduates, big Gopher fans, and the last couple of years we've attended at least one, if not a couple games for either women's hockey or women's basketball, and it's been so exciting to see how well these women play. First time I saw the women's hockey team go out on the arena, which is a wonderful arena for women's hockey, I got tears in my eyes. I love watching their skating, no checking, so it's a fast game. And the only way I could, maybe a little shorter than men, but the major reason you could tell they're all women is they all had ponytails hanging out the back of their helmets.
Yeah, that's another sport. Yeah, you can see the difference just since when it first was in its infancy now. We're talking to Mary Overlee Olson from the AAUW of Owatonna. I suppose we'll be able to just kind of recap again, talk about, again, Steele County's Taste of Steele County, when it is, how we get tickets.
All right, great. It is next Thursday, that's September 15th. It's at the Owatonna Eagles from 5 to 7 p.m. Tickets are $15 each, available at Kotke's or any AAUW member like myself. We also have a silent auction in conjunction with that, and we encourage people to come and have a good time. We've discovered that people oftentimes come right at 5 and stay for the whole event just because it's so full. I want to say one more comment. We say this is a taste of Steele County, not a feast of Steele County. However, in the 8 or so years that AAUW has operated this event or run this event, I have yet to visit all 12 vendors. I'm usually full by the time I get to about number 8 or 9. So there usually is plenty of food, and it's a fun event for a good cause.
Set your goals higher, Mary. Go for 10 this year.
Okay.
I'm the devil tempting her. Okay, that's our Talk of the Town for today here on AM 1390 KRF.